All right, and this is Freedom Gulch podcast number 6. Today we're going to be talking about a lot about the Salsa Forum, the first televised Libertarian Party, uh, forum slash debate, and all the different topics that go along with that. We'll also be talking about the Wisconsin primary, which should be closing up here in a few hours, and just other topics pertaining to libertarianism. So let me go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Will Hammer, founder of Freedom Gulch. We also have Michael Pickens.
Hey, how's it going, Will?
We have Mark Anderson.
How you doing?
We have Joshua Huffman.
Hello.
And Andy Bacher.
Hey, Will.
All right, guys. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. Salsa Forum. What are y'all's thoughts?
How fun was it just to have a debate? First,
Yeah.
just to be there. We had a big party in Northern Virginia, and it's just great to get everybody together, to have them up there looking like, the real presidential candidates that they are, getting the attention that they deserve. It was great.
Yeah, I agree with you. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, just a professional, nationally televised debate with libertarians on it. It was really great to sit down and watch.
Yeah, they all had their high points throughout the debate, and for us to be able to share that with the world on a national stage where we've never had that before, it's going to be huge for us. I'm very interested to see the ratings from Fox Business from that debate, and then also the continuation of it this Friday.
Yeah, that's right. That's 2 parts. Be on this Friday. What time is it? 9 o'clock? 9 p.m.
Yeah. 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Eastern time. And it was really interesting just being able to see libertarian candidates in a professional, well-produced show, being able to actually talk about libertarian issues. And, of course, there's minor disagreements here and there. There's high points for each candidate. But it's just overall, I thought it was a great event, and just actually made me feel proud, to be part of the Libertarian Party. And you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you're like, we're getting there,
Definitely. And what was your favorite part of the debate, Will? Was that the kiss?
So, yeah, I would say that one point in the debate when Johnson went up to McAfee for a kiss, it was definitely it was a weird moment, but at the same time, it's like that could not happen on a Republican or even a Democratic, debate stage. What did y'all think of that moment?
Yeah, imagine Cruz kissing Trump.
Oh my Lord!
So what prompted it? Does anyone know what prompted that?
I think it was when McAfee was talking about his stuff going on in Belize. And he said that, I'm not a fugitive or something, and then Johnson kissed him.
Yeah. Hey, man, more power.
I don't know. They're just having fun. It's like a fun party.
Yeah. Fun and lots of love, So yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it was a great event. So who do y'all think won? Why don't you go down the line and tell me who y'all thought won and why?
Yeah, I made a meme right after that, and you know who won that debate? America won that debate. We won that debate. That was the winner. Now, as far as the presidential candidates, they all had their high points, they all had their low points at the same time. I'm pretty lukewarm on all of them right now. They're all good. Let's just put it that way. All of the candidates are good.
And better choices than the other 2 major parties provide.
Way better choices.
Yep.
Way better choices.
Mark?
Go ahead.
I think, for me personally, I would have to say that McAfee, at least, maybe, I don't know if he won, but he definitely legitimized himself as a candidate, and made everybody take a step back and said, "Whoa, this guy is an actual libertarian candidate. He's not just a celebrity trying to get some airtime here. He really came out and was well prepared and spoke very well, and really nailed it, I think, on most things."
I thought he really spoke well about what libertarianism is. He really, I was surprised that he's always been reading up on it, because at first when he jumped in, I just thought he's just using this for ballot access and whatnot, but he really elegantly spoke on what libertarianism is.
It was interesting to see. I mean, everything I've seen of McAfee before that, I thought he'd be high on some sort of drug when he showed up on the debate stage, which was I think he actually did fairly well. I don't know. I mean, there were certainly some elements of Austin Peterson that I liked. Of course, being a pro-life fella, that is a bonus to me. Though, I guess I still have this little nagging fear in the back of my head that a lot of what he's doing is he's doing for the sake of Austin Peterson, not necessarily for the sake of principle. There are a lot of things I liked about Johnson. Of course, the whole cake issue, which I think we'll be getting into. That I felt that was a bit off-putting because it's like, well, I couldn't. You shouldn't be able to force a business to serve someone that they don't wish to serve.
Right, Andy.
Well, I like to give Mike a hard time lately because he's like super neutral all the time. I think that's a fair assessment that none of them are lightning bolts out there. I think there's a clear difference. The debate certainly did not change my opinion of any of them. Gary got up there, and he's the governor. He's the man. The cake answer was completely wrong. I think people are getting a little bit ahead of themselves with touting that as the end of the Johnson campaign somehow. He is the guy who is pulling 11%. Austin, it is just completely unlikable, and that made it even more frustrating that he was the only one who was like consistently putting out libertarian answers to questions when he wasn't saying ridiculous bumper sticker things like he's going to take over the government and leave you alone. That's not what we're going to do. If I had to pick a winner, it would probably be McAfee, just like Mark said. He's the guy who put himself on the map that last night and got noticed. Even though he's saying that we're at war with China and we need a surveillance state like they have.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, saying that we can prevent terrorism by just having more surveillance or something like that. I mean, it's like, what are you advocating here? Some sort of police state? I don't really get it.
Yeah, I mean, just as everybody had their low points and high points, but I think, like Andy was saying, that McAfee really put himself out there. Like, I didn't really think that he was much of a serious candidate, but he really spoke well. He gave pretty good answers, except for that surveillance, and being at war with China. But, I really think that they all did really well. Austin Peterson, like you said, he talks in bumper stickers. He talks in these one-line catchy phrases, and that's what his campaign is. Johnson, he's been there, done that, but definitely fumbled with the gay Nazi cake response. And but overall, like I said, I think it was a great, well-produced show, and allowed people to actually see that there is an option, and kind of gave us a little bit more legitimacy and professionalism as a party. So.
Well, Andy, I know you've been giving me shit because I'm so neutral on this, but I have been paying attention and just gathering my thoughts on this, right? Because it's a big deal. We've got 3 candidates up there. They all have their good points. They all have their bad points. But the question that I asked myself yesterday is, why are we choosing from these 3 guys? Why are we not choosing from Governor Robert Sarvis? Why are we not choosing from Representative Stephen Nielsen? Why are we not choosing from Senator, Danny Bedwell out of Mississippi? Why are we choosing from elected libertarians in higher office to be running for president? And that's what made me think we're not focusing enough on local and state elections. I know that's been a big thing here in Washington. So much visibility and effort goes into the Libertarian primary, and it's going into it right now. These guys, all of them did great on the debate. You see their fans became stronger fans because of it. They were able to actually recruit more people in each camp. So they all won, right? But until we elect a libertarian to state office, shit, we can barely elect libertarians to city council. So we're never going to get a libertarian elected president. So as far as who's going to get the nomination, right now it really doesn't matter. And we have to use this time to be going out and promoting the state and local candidates so they could get elected. So they could get, instead of 30%, they could get 35% or 40% or 50% or higher. That's just my opinion.
Well, I definitely agree with you. Michael's always talking about local, local, local. But I think he is right, and you see the success that Michael has had in Washington State, and they've won elections. They are what every state should really be looking towards to emulate.
Well, this is the thing. There's multiple other states also right now that are picking up momentum. They're starting to focus locally. Shit, Andy, you were out collecting signatures, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You know, there's a story. I was out collecting signatures in 2012 to get Gary Johnson on the ballot, and a gentleman named Paul Addis and his wife Kathy came out to collect signatures as well. This was their first time, you know, doing anything with the Libertarian Party. After that, HempFest was a few months later, and they were running the Republican Liberty Caucus booth at HempFest, and I was running the Libertarian Party of Washington booth. We talked there, and what ended up happening is a year later, Paul decided to run for state office as a Libertarian. You know, he came over, joined the party, became a region director. Now he's running for lieutenant governor and has recruited multiple other candidates to run for office. Just from going out and collecting signatures, you never know who you're going to run into, right? Creating these local events where you can get together with local leadership or people who want to be leaders, right? They're out doing something, and everyone can be a leader by going out and making things happen. So you never know what's going to come of it. And that was, you know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago when I first met him.
Well, that's all part of it.
Definitely.
You know, I think there's value in the presidential campaign to be able to do things like have a big party where, you know, 35 people show up to watch the debate. We get to talk to them. We get to speak to them, do that kind of thing. So
totally agree with
you know, it's two parts that play off of each other for sure. And I definitely agree with you that we shouldn't be putting our resources into these primary fights that are completely silly for the most part, and at times serve only to, you know, tear people down within the party.
Yeah. So think about this: to get 30,000 rack cards to hang up on people's doors, it's $1,200 for 30,000 rack cards. That's super cheap. Imagine all the money going into these primary races right now, where it really isn't going to matter, versus putting that money into local elections where 30,000 rack cards could swing an election. You know what I mean? Because whoever gets the nomination is going to raise a bunch of money anyways. It's just going to happen. Most of the party's going to coalesce behind them, and we're going to move forward through November. You know, Austin Peterson did have a really good point when I talked to him in Oregon, in Portland. I basically said that if Gary Johnson gets a nomination in November after the election, if he doesn't get it, he's going to go back to climbing mountains and riding bikes. Right? Well, we're all left here to continue to push forward to the 2017 election, 2018 election season. Right? So he was pretty much saying that he was in it for the long term and he was going to push it forward. That was just a good point that he made.
It's a fair point. I don't know that he's any more credible that he's going to stick around than Governor Johnson or even John McAfee is, or certainly any of the other candidates.
Yeah, I guess we'll see with time how sincere Austin Peterson is. With, you know, building the coalition and continue fighting for the Libertarian Party.
Sure. Time will tell.
All right, guys. Let's get into the gay Nazi cake fumble by Gary Johnson, and let's just talk about property rights and you know, personal rights and business rights.
Well, I mean, clearly, Gary, you know, he fumbled there, and he made a huge mistake, I think, and a lot of libertarians are calling him on it.
Yeah.
You know, the property rights are huge in the libertarian camp, and that it's really something that's it is unacceptable. But here's the thing: why I still like Gary is Gary has shown in the past to be um, willing to be brought over, brought more libertarian. And you could say that, yeah, he should have spent the last 4 years becoming more libertarian. But he's shown with the burqa bans and things in the past that, when he's caught on his mistakes, that he is willing to acknowledge those mistakes and carry on from there.
Yeah, no, I think there's certainly some truth to that. I mean, there's a part of me that just wants to say, let's go, I really like Gary Johnson, which I do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, as I told him at the Virginia convention, he was the first libertarian candidate I voted for president. He said that made his day, whether or not, hopefully it did. But, and I guess it's just I wish, I don't know, that does give me a moment of pause to say, well, that doesn't seem quite right to me. It's like, as I tell people, in 2008, of course, Bob Barr was the Libertarian Party candidate, and I thought to myself, of course, I wasn't part of the party, and I was just looking into who can I vote for president here, and I was like, well, holy crap, I'm actually more libertarian than Bob Barr, the Libertarian Party nominee. There's something wrong with that. So, I don't know.
All right. Well, it looks like we got before we continue on that, it looks like we have another guest, Corey Falconer.
Hey guys.
Hello.
What's up, Corey?
How are you?
We're good, man. Just to catch you up, we talked about we're in the process of talking about the Salsa Forum. Right now, we're talking about the gay Nazi cake, Johnson fumble. So if you have any opinions on that, you go ahead and hop on in.
So I didn't understand the gay Nazi cake thing. So maybe you guys can educate me on what I must have missed because I wasn't catching it.
Sure. Somebody want to explain it?
So this is something.
Go ahead, Andy.
So the gay Nazi cake thing comes from some. They're usually some version of a RFRA, a Religious Freedom Restoration Act that states pass. Basically, that came about after there were some Christian-owned bakeries turning away gay couples who wanted cakes for their wedding. Now, Governor Johnson said that he would support a law that would force those bakers to make the cake. That's something he's been catching a lot of flack for.
Okay.
And so the line in the debate, I forget exactly what it was. It was, Austin asked him, do you think a Jewish baker should be forced to make a Nazi cake? And he said, yes, that's my contention. So that's not good.
Okay, so now that I understand and I appreciate that, maybe we should be supporting businesses that support our viewpoints. Maybe we should stop. I wouldn't want to make somebody make me a cake, and I don't think I would want to support that business if that business did not support the things that I believed as an individual. I mean, that's what I was putting, I guess, on Facebook from my perspective. If I grew up, and I say this on Facebook a lot, I grew up in a community in southeastern Queens, New York that was all West Indians, Haitians, Jamaicans, Trinidadians. If you weren't from the islands, you didn't live there. And everything in my community reflected the makeup of the community. So you couldn't get McDonald's in my neighborhood. You were getting jerk chicken, and that's what you got. The people in the community supported a specific perspective. So if you don't respect me, why would I even want to spend money with you in the first place? Because your views differ from what my views are. So I don't think I would even want them to make the cake for me in the first place.
Right, and that's what we kind of get to. And by the way, I definitely would take some jerk chicken over some McDonald's. But that's the point, though. We believe as libertarians that the free market will sort this out. That you have the right to boycott, to tell people not to go there, and so the market forces most likely will stamp out bigotry, racism, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
And so the market itself will cure that. I don't want to go force somebody to bake a cake that they don't want to make. There's plenty of bakers around, so I don't
Correct.
think that I wouldn't go out of my way to force somebody. But at the same time, if somebody would not make cakes for Muslims or wouldn't make cakes for gay marriages or whatever, then I definitely would not take my business to them. And that's where you get the free market to use its forces to essentially legislate towards closing those businesses.
Well, and here's something similar. Based on a company that actually does, have some sort of code that they follow. And that is, of course, on Sundays, it's inevitable that from time to time you want Chick-fil-A. Now, you can't have Chick-fil-A on Sundays because they're not open. And, because that's their business decision. It's like, hey, we're not going to sell it to you on Sunday. But should the government then go and say, well, hey, you should serve your customers on Sunday? And of course the answer is no. I mean, same with, if some sort of Jewish restaurant was closed on Saturdays. I mean, I obviously wouldn't have the government come in there and step in and say, hey, you've got to be open. I feel it's a very similar vein.
I was thinking my business to Bojangles. So.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes Bojangles here, I guess.
It's okay.
Michael doesn't even know what we're talking about.
No, there's a bad echo.
Yeah.
We're talking about what was it? Chick-fil-A being closed on Sundays, and I said I just go to Bojangles instead.
Well, yeah, I heard it. There's just a really bad echo. Yeah, so no, there's no way that the government should be able to force anyone to serve anyone else. And like you said, why would you want to force someone to do that? Not only that, but if you're going to discriminate on sexual orientation or race or religion or anything like that, make it public. At least show it. Let's see what business you own, so we don't have to vote with our dollars there anymore. We can take them somewhere else.
Exactly.
People have to start looking at that, their conscious decision when they're purchasing products, right? What company are you supporting, right? I'll go shop at a libertarian business or use a libertarian-owned service before anyone else, before any other service, because I know those people want freedom for me, so I'll help them.
Can we get a list of libertarian businesses that we can start to circulate so that we can support each other?
Isn't Alex Merced out of New York doing something like that? Libertarian businesses, some kind of service where you can have your business listed? I don't know. I have to look that up.
I'm not sure. We have various Facebook groups. I know we have one that I'm part of, Libertarian Businesses. I don't know if it's just specifically Virginia, but we got several libertarians in there that own businesses.
Yeah, setting up like a Craigslist for libertarians.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think that's something that we need to try to orchestrate and work on.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
All right, guys. How about we get into the vice president announcement from the McAfee camp? What are y'all thoughts on Judd Weiss?
Dude, I love Judd. That is awesome. We showed up at the airport at the same time at the 2012 convention, rode in a taxi. That was the first time I met Judd. Rode in a taxi to the Red Rock Casino, and we hung out quite a bit at the convention. And very positive guy. And then a couple months later at the California convention, he's a positive guy. As far as a pick for VP, I don't know. I don't know that much about his credentials. I know he's more of a uniter than a divider as far as the Libertarian Party goes, but that's pretty much it.
Anybody else have any thoughts on Judd Weiss?
Yeah. I don't know much about the guy. I know he's all over libertarian social media spaces.
Yeah, all the cool pictures, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like he's been around for a while. He's at least been around since 2012. That was something that McAfee needed. seems like a reasonable choice to me. We'll see if the delegates go along with it, if McAfee is in fact nominated. That's the whole thing with the VP announcements. Subject to the will of the convention.
Yeah, but most of the time the convention's going to give the presidential candidate the VP they want.
So do y'all think that he can bring, marketability and different, what do you think he can bring to the campaign with his background?
Great pictures. High quality photography. I don't know exactly.
A little bit of name rec. That's always a big deal.
Well, before we pass judgment, let's see. Has anyone seen an announcement from him, or read an announcement, or saw his website, anything like that?
I have not seen anything. I was telling Andy and Bo that I've gotten like 2 phone calls in the last 2 days from people that want to run vice presidential candidates that I've never heard of, and I'm still waiting for the emails. They were like, well, what's up with the Virginia delegate list? And I'm like, I'm just the man next to the man next to the man. So, I've had a couple people call me and was like, Corey, what's Rob Sarver's cell phone number? I'm like, yeah, not so much. I will give your information to Rob Sarver's, but I'm not giving out Rob Sarver's cell phone number. I don't even know who these people are. They were like, yeah, we're running for vice president. Somebody gave me an ear about the person's a constitutional attorney from California. Their people are supposed to be in Virginia tomorrow through Saturday. And they're like, yeah, we really want to talk to Bo, Andy, and Corey. And I'm like, well, me and Bo are closer to Williamsburg than Andy is, but I haven't gotten any emails from anybody saying that what time they want to meet or whatever they want to discuss.
Well, and of course, I don't really know anything about this vice presidential nominee, but I thought that Judge Gray was actually pretty impressive back in 2012. He came actually and spoke at James Madison University, and I thought he gave a fine speech. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you all know of anybody else?
So
Mr.
there's
Pickens?
one guy that I'm aware of. I'm sorry. Kerry McKinnon, who's in Texas. I don't think a whole lot behind him, but he's got a Facebook page.
Awesome.
That makes you legitimate, right? A Facebook page.
This goes back to our problem I talked about earlier, building our farm team up so we have some solid candidates.
Any inside scoop, Michael?
Inside scoop on any of it? Man, I have no idea.
Nothing? Okay. All right, let's see. Well, let's talk about the Republican primary today, Wisconsin, and just the nomination in general. What do y'all think is going to happen tonight?
Well, from the article on it, where it's going right now, is that Cruz is winning against Trump, and Bernie's winning against Hillary.
Wow.
Is that exit polls or entry polls?
This is exit polling, yeah, because the polls have not closed yet.
Well, I just actually while we were talking here, I pulled up Breitbart, and they actually said that they think that Trump's going to win Wisconsin, and I think, if Trump actually does pull off a win in Wisconsin, that might actually pretty much solidify the nomination for him. I mean, granted, it won't numbers-wise, but Cruz has only a couple of out. To use sort of like poker terms, Cruz only has a couple of outs left in the deck, and if he doesn't win Wisconsin, it's going to be very hard for him to stop Trump from getting to the mark.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah, I'd love to see a brokered convention. That would be awesome. As much chaos as possible for the Republicans.
We need the drama, right?
Yep, on that side.
Yeah, a coworker of mine who is a huge Cruz supporter told me, and he is a very social conservative, very Republican only, would vote for Trump over anybody that had, if Ronald Reagan was running as a libertarian, he'd vote for Trump because he has a Republican kind of thing. He said that if they have the convention and they pick somebody other than Trump or Cruz, that he may have to look at another party or a write-in.
Wow.
Do you think that they're being serious, though, when it comes to brass tacks, when it comes to actually pushing the name or pulling the lever? Do you really think that they're not going to vote Republican, though?
No. No, I think most people just aren't ready. And that's what we were saying before. Our best shot, when I look at the candidates and I try to decide what I want for the other parties, obviously we'd all love to be sitting here with Jim Webb against Rand Paul against, Gary or John or McAfee or whoever. But what's best for America and what's best for the Libertarian Party? I'm sorry, is that me? I'm having a lot of static. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm getting static from somewhere. There it's better. What's best for America is probably not Trump versus Hillary, but is that best for the LP? Yeah, I think so, because that's certainly going to bring more votes to us. I believe that is the ideal situation for our party.
Yeah, having two really hated candidates, it will be sort of like a parallel with Rob Sarvis running against Cusinelli and whoever the governor is, I forget his name, McAuliffe. And you may actually be able to get. I know we're not going to win, but get the numbers to draw some legitimacy. Maybe a Ross Perot moment. At least get into the debates would be really nice. So are y'all hoping for Trump versus Hillary for the Libertarian Party, or do you think there's better options along the two-party lines other than those two?
Personally, I think it's irrelevant at this point. Because Trump versus Cruz, I mean, who cares? In my opinion, really. I mean, I don't plan to support either of them unless something wacky happens. For Sanders, I would say he's the most honest man running of the people who are, have a shot at the nomination, and just some of the things he's suggesting are sort of disturbing, which I'm sure we all could agree with here.
But honesty relative to everybody else, that doesn't really say too much.
True.
Dude, Clinton versus Trump would probably be our best chance to getting the highest vote total ever. Breaking 5%, 10%, whatever it is. That would be my opinion. Bernie Sanders supporters would be so pissed if the nomination was stole from them. Same with Cruz supporters and any conservative. It's tough for them to vote for Trump. I don't know, man. That would probably be the best matchup for us.
Yeah, this would be the only time that if Hillary is the nominee, I think it would be the only time a Democrat would vote outside the Democratic Party, because Republicans will flex and they'll vote Libertarian, even though they don't agree fully. But Democrats, that's why they won in 2008 and 2012. Democrats vote Democrat, and they stick to it.
We just had another leader from the RLC move over, show up to our Libertarian leadership training. We've had quite a few leaders come over. They're now running for office, volunteering, completely switched. So, and that's going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to pick up speed.
Let's talk about the Republican influx within the Libertarian Party. Do you think Austin Peterson, or just the choices of the Republican Party, combination of different things, are we seeing an influx?
Yeah, let me tell you. So there's a lot of Republicans coming in right now, and it's freaking some Libertarians out because they don't think they're Libertarian enough, right? So that's the drama that's going on. They're not Libertarian enough. So if they're not Libertarian enough, the solution would be to teach them to become more Libertarian, right? So when Stephen Nielsen first came over from the Republican Party, he took the I Side With test and he scored, I think it was 72 or 76% Libertarian, right? He ran for office. I still encouraged him to run for office. And now, the last time he took it, he was like 92% libertarian.
Wow.
You know, and running for public lands commissioner. But it's because the first time he ran, we put on these trainings, you know, to educate people on what it means to be a libertarian. We educate in a non-threatening manner, and they become more libertarian, and that's the way to do it. We encourage that.
Right.
Not all this online back and forth is just not doing anything to help us out whatsoever.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, most of us were not born libertarian. You know, we weren't born a purist.
Yep.
We came from somewhere and got to where we are now. So we need to embrace these people and just educate them on what it truly means to be a libertarian, and get people to funnel down into be more libertarian. And I know, Michael, you know, you do a lot of education and whatnot with your leadership. Do y'all focus on that type of stuff, like to teach candidates libertarianism, or what do y'all do exactly?
Yeah, the first hour and a half, we go through the philosophy of liberty and the foundations of the Libertarian Party. So the 5 pillars that were outlined by David Nolan, who founded the party. Also, the 6 reasons why he founded the Libertarian Party. Once they understand that stuff, it's all stuff that's applicable today. These are still the same reasons that we have today for doing what all of us are doing.
Right.
You know, and the pillars of the Libertarian Party, the 5 pillars that he outlined, are common sense things that the average person would understand, and it's nothing that's super extreme either. So once people get that, and then I talk about how I'm a radical, right? But I'm a pragmatic radical libertarian. I see a step in the right direction. We're going to keep working together and keep stepping until I want to go farther than you want to go, and then you can get off. But we're way at the other side right now, and we need to move in the right direction. So
Right,
that means to work together.
It's like we're taking a road trip across America. We're
Yep.
starting in Washington, D.C. I want to go out to Seattle or someplace, and you want to get off in Denver. And,
Yeah, there we go.
Let's go 80% of the way together.
Yeah, let's carpool. Let's ride together until we get to Denver, and then you can get out and ski and smoke some pot, and then I'll keep going to Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about your organization, Michael?
Yeah, if you want. I've been doing these leadership seminars since 2014. We did 7 of them around the state of Washington, and it's a 7-hour full-day workshop. About an hour and a half of that's networking as well, but it's interactive. There's a workbook that goes along with it, and it's very educational. It's very eye-opening towards people who've had a hard time overcoming some fears or maybe stretching their comfort zone. It really speeds up that process for people to do new things and learn new things, and take risks.
And what's the name, and where can people get information about it?
Libertarianleadership.org. Yeah, there's information on live trainings, and we're going to start recording our video training. Actually, we videotaped the entire seminar on Saturday. So that's going to be cut up into modules, and that's going to be given away for free on the website, so anyone can get educated. Like right now, we just did an audio recording that I put into a PowerPoint on how to collect signatures to get a candidate on the ballot if you're a libertarian, what to say. You know, the whole script is outlined. I talk about my experience doing it, some reactions that you're going to receive when you go out there asking for signatures, so people are more prepared when they do go out. They have a better understanding of what they're going to deal with, you know. And that's like a 16-minute video, super quick. But we also do that in live training as well. Cover fundraising, public speaking, just all the skills that are necessary to be successful.
Well, definitely. I think are we going to be having a seminar in Virginia?
Yes, you are.
Great.
At least one.
Yeah, so we have Richmond outlined, correct? And that was, I think, June 25th.
Yeah.
And there was supposed to be one in Northern Virginia as well.
Yeah.
Sunday or something like that. Okay. Yeah, so there's a whole schedule on the website right now, and more dates are going to be added. I know we got a couple more states that are coming on board for this fall.
Well, definitely, being a radical, being, pure libertarian, whatever you want to call it, but being pragmatic, being inclusive, trying to educate people, and just moving forward, I think is the way to go. A lot of these radicals, it's their way or the highway. You're not libertarian enough. They're very dogmatic, and I can identify with that. But at the same time, you need to realize that you didn't come into this party or to libertarianism as a philosophy as a pure libertarian, and so it's about educating people and helping them in their journey. So I really appreciate what you do, and hope that more people can become educated and further themselves and be pragmatic.
Thank you. Yeah, well, once it gets online, man, it's going to really take off. Anyone can get trained up from their living room, or you can play the videos in front of a group of people if you have to do signature gathering.
Yeah.
Every piece is outlined. And pretty soon, we're going to get to the point where our organizations are bigger than what the Republicans have and what the Democrats have, and then we're going to be raising more money, or at least enough to compete with the Republicans and Democrats, because everything is just a skill. And once we get to that point, we're going to be winning elections, and it's only a matter of time now. There's a ton of us all over the place, younger people that are just, we're tired of it, right? I'm 31 years old. I didn't put us, as far as us, the country, into the situation it is in right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely right.
And you guys didn't do it either, right? But we decided to take responsibility for that, for our future. Okay, we didn't do it. We're not going to pass the blame, but we're just going to do something now to fix it.
Exactly. Yeah, we need Michael in Richmond. we need you in Richmond, Michael.
Dude, I will be there. We'll get as many people in the room as possible.
I will do that for you.
Awesome.
So when can we get tickets?
Tickets are available right now, but the price is at $80 a ticket. We're going to drop it down. That was a suggestion made by Jason Stapleton. Actually, he wanted us to charge more, but we're going to drop the price down. We had it at free before, and it was great, right? People came in, and we fundraised to rent the rooms, right? And I think we're going to go that route. I think it's a great opportunity. If we just get everyone at the ground to fundraise enough to cover the room and travel, just the expenses, we can offer free tickets. And I'd rather have 50 people in a room than 10 in a room. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everyone's getting educated. So we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, let us know what you need for Richmond, and we'll start to work on that, because I think the word needs to be spread.
Yeah, we can create some marketing pieces for it as well, and hopefully I'll see everyone there.
Make sure you come to Nova too, because I'm tired of driving to Richmond for everything.
Yeah, Mark, we got to schedule that, man.
Well, you can't be complaining too much. Nova and Richmond. I live in Stanton, Virginia.
Yeah, man.
Let me be clear. I live an hour and a half from Nova, so it's still a trek for me.
Yeah.
Can you get 5 people in a room on that Sunday, the 26th?
And
Mark?
Not in my county. Not in my county, no.
In Northern Virginia?
Oh, Nova, sure.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
fantastic. There we go. Perfect. That's enough. 5 is enough.
So let me segue that into it. If y'all read the email about the LP award nominations, you can send in nominations. There's an email. You can check it on lp.org. How to do the nomination. They need a certain format. I would recommend everybody to nominate Mr. Michael Pickens for the Sam Adams Award, which will be given out at the convention down in Orlando. If you haven't done it, I would recommend it. He works great within the Libertarian Party, with the Libertarian Leadership Institute. He's educating people, he's advocating, he's growing the party in Washington. So definitely, I've already put my nomination in there, but the more the merrier, and just flood them with nominations for Michael Pickens.
Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. And let me tell you what, when I get to speak and accept the award, I will have a powerful speech ready to roll, man. I've already started working on it.
Well, hopefully you won't be like Michael Keaton with Birdman and have the speech ready and then have to put it back in.
No, I'll have it up here, man.
All right.
I've taken the right classes.
That's good.
Awesome.
All right. Well, let's talk about the national convention. Who's all planning on going?
I'm going.
Yep, I'll be there.
No.
All right, Joshua, you're not.
No.
Mark, you said you're probably not going to be able to go.
It's not looking likely now.
Yeah. I should be going. 90% sure I'm going to be going. Also going to be going to the Freedom Fest in Las Vegas. So.
Oh, nice.
I can't wait for that. Hope to see you there, Michael.
I haven't decided if I'm going to make that event.
You better, man.
Definitely making the LP event, but we got campaigns going on. August is our primary, and we have to have strong numbers. So, and I've got a candidate running in my district, and we've got 5,000 rack cards that I got to hang up, because if he doesn't do well, I suck.
No, we know he's gonna do well.
Well, we got to make sure. So
he's got Michael Pickens there, so he'll do well.
Wow.
We'll do our best.
So, do you know of any speakers or anything with the LP National Convention? Anything that hasn't been released or has been released that I'm not aware of? Anybody?
We got Adam Kokesh speaking there. He's going to be running for president in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
He's already announced.
Is he running as a libertarian?
He's running as a libertarian, yeah. He's running on a Darryl Perry platform of abolishing the federal government.
But he's a much better public speaker, and
He's a
Yeah.
yeah.
We love Adam and Nova, yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Adam Kokesh.
I love Adam too. Probably won't be supporting him for president, but
Why not, man? He wants to dissolve the federal government within 4 years, right?
yeah, I know. But we promote, putting ideas out there that aren't going to scare grandma or soccer mom. We'd like to win. Yeah, let's move the dial, guys. Come on, you're killing me.
Hey, have y'all been watching any of his homesteading videos? He bought some land out in Ash Fork, Arizona, the high desert, and has been homesteading that.
No.
I've seen a couple of them. Yeah.
I'll love to be able to do that. Just go homestead some property. That's just so libertarian, you know. All right, guys. Any other things that we missed? Any topics or anything else you want to talk about?
I'm going to give you guys the topic. And I've been talking to Andy on Facebook all day. Richmond Public Schools is $18 million in the hole. $18 million. So there have been articles for the last couple of days in the paper. 50% of Richmond schools do not have an active PTA. So me being the active parent that I am, I spoke to the head school administrator here, Abe Jeffers. He's taught me how to go online and obtain information from the National PTA Network to teach parents to start their own PTA. Because part of the problem here for me is that I'm the only parent that shows up to everything. I'm the only parent that carpools all the kids to different functions. I'm the only parent that, is in support of our young people. And I can't be the only parent, or Mandy can't be the only parent that's active. We all have to work together. The plan for closing the schools, they have 6 schools that they're closing, so they're merging a whole bunch of schools together. Some of the planned school mergers include putting Bloods and Crips in the same school, which we all know is not going to work. I've spoken to some parents who've got my information off of Facebook, and they're like, Corey, what should we do? So I'm going to be working with some of the school board people and some of the parents here to get functioning PTAs in the system, and to work with some local musicians who want to do some fundraising to bring awareness of how the parent-teacher associations are supposed to be working in conjunction with the school board to make it a better situation here.
Corey, quick question. Have you seen the Reason Saves Cleveland video, Save Our Schools?
No, I have not.
I'm going to go ahead and send it over to you. It's a great short video. Drew Carey is the guy doing the talking. He's a libertarian, and it's a great way to introduce competition to the marketplace as far as education, and to get people open to the idea of school choice and allowing competition for innovation and creativity, which is what we have to do.
Yeah, that's a great series. All the Reason Saves Cleveland. It's a great video series if you want to give somebody who isn't familiar with libertarian solutions. Definitely a great video series.
A definitely pragmatic step in the right direction.
Kind of off topic, but I'm actually Drew Carey in Price is Right host now, and they're going on some tour, and I'm actually gonna see him live sometime in October, I think. So hopefully be able to actually. I'm probably not gonna be able to get a picture with him or anything like that, imagine, but Drew Carey doing some big things,
You better get a picture with him. Come on, man.
Got to elbow your way up to the front.
You got to hang out after the show's over with all the groupies. Get a picture.
Yeah, but that, like Corey was talking about, is this an example of public school failing, just being not very efficient, not producing quality education, and it just, we need to allow for school choice. We need to educate people that there's options. Luckily in Virginia we have pretty good lax homeschooling laws. Just give people options from the public school, which with SOLs and other standardized testing, it just really, you're taught to regurgitate information. You're not taught logic or critical thinking or anything like that.
I'm glad. I want to say I'm glad education came up because we recently had our board of supervisors meeting where they proposed the budget for the coming year, and they're proposing an 8-cent real estate hike to cover essentially school costs. And our county teachers average $55,000 a year. It's the 9th highest in the state out of 99 counties. And we are not the 9th wealthiest county in Virginia. So, but the point I want to make is, what Michael does is so important, is because the state has come out en masse to these things and plead their case to the officials, and they're the ones. There's 3 people, I think, total speaking out against this tax increase for teacher wages, essentially, for the school board budget increase, and there was just a standing room only room with people pleading their case to pay the teachers more and to give the school more money.
Yeah, they're well organized. They've been organized for years, and that's what we have to do. We have to do the same thing. I've learned way more from Democrat political training than Republican political training. If you're going to go into any political training, check out what the Democrats have. Your new organizing institute, ton of stuff on there. Because they're able to pull people and get them out. They draw through emotion. That's what their training's all about.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, anybody else want to say anything on school choice or anything?
We need it.
Yeah, definitely need it.
Yeah. I know that there was some action in the Virginia State House this year, but not a lot, not enough, clearly. Feel for Corey. I know he's doing good work down there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, watch. He's going to make some changes, man. He just keep it up. Things are going to happen. They have to.
You there, Corey?
Sorry, my SIM card is cracked, so it separated in my phone, and that's why I dropped the call. So I apologize.
No, that's okay. We're just talking about some school choice and whatnot. Is there anything else you want to add about that with your situation and school choice?
Yeah, I think that one of the issues is that people don't realize that they have school choice. So hopefully being able to educate people on what what our opportunities are and how we can best serve the children. Because I think what happens is, unfortunately, we get all hung up in titles and stuff, and we don't realize that it's all for the kids' sake. They can't vote. They don't have a voice, and we have to be their voice. So, Michael, I appreciate you sharing that link with me, and I'll take a look at it, and I'll definitely keep you guys posted on the action down here, because it looks like I'm going to have to be the one to get the parents all organized and together and how we can best service the children.
Here's another resource for you as well. School Choice Week will send you free material that you can pass out talking about school choice.
Okay.
So look them up. I'll send you the link.
That's cool.
Go ahead. What's the next topic?
I think that's about it, unless y'all have anything else to add.
Michael.
Yes, sir.
What does the C stand for?
Clifford, my first name. You know, I stayed with Arvin Vora for 2 weeks in D.C. in 2012 to help Gary Johnson on the ballot. He said the C stands for cyborg. I'd get up early in the morning and I wouldn't come home till late, or come back to his house until late, because we were collecting signatures all day long from sun up to sundown to get him on the ballot.
You're just a hustler, man.
Hustle, man. Hustle for them signatures.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I've done that plenty of times, so.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and end it, and we'll be having another podcast in 2 weeks. Next 2 weeks from today, Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern, like usual, and hopefully we'll have the same guys, maybe some other guys as well. And thanks for joining us.
Maybe some girls.
All right, y'all take care.
Thanks, guys.